welcome to dig number 7 of the Divination Excavation, and this dig is all about mediumship. Now, I am not a professional medium. I'm a very sporadic medium. I have been visited by many people who have passed away, and this topic for me is near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love Teresa Caputo and those like her. I think that they bring a ton of healing to the world, and I wish that I had that ability as strongly as her and other people have it, but I just don't, and I'm not sure why. And I'm not real worried about it, because if it was supposed to be the direction I was supposed to go, I would have it. So I'm really not concerned. But I do absolutely believe in it. And I have had many people visit me, and I've learned so much about what happens after we cross over. And I've got digs on a couple people out now. I've got visits from Matt. I've got visits from my mom after she passed. I've got visits from Bill. So there's a few on my channel, and I invite you to watch those. They're really powerful. Every now and then, like I was in Red Lobster one time, and this spirit showed up at my table and wouldn't leave me alone, and was really asking me to give a message to the waiter, which I did. And the waiter started crying, and it was just a really emotional situation. The spirit, I'll just tell you the story real quick. It's a good one, and it's a quick one. This spirit was freaking out, really upset, high anxiety energy all around me. And a lot of spirits, when I have this happen, it's a very telepathic experience. And this was no different. And this spirit was telling me, I really picked on this guy, and I was really, really mean to him. Can you tell him I'm sorry? And so I did. And I asked this spirit if he was a friend, and he said no, he went to school with this kid and picked on him in school. And the guy that was talking to me said that he had recently committed suicide. That's what he told me. And I was talking to the waiter, and I said, this guy was not your friend. He went to school with you, and he picked on you a lot, a whole lot. And the waiter looked at me like he totally knew what I was talking about. I had no idea what I was talking about, which is the case when it's with other people. You always know when it's a spirit visiting you what they're talking about, of course. But then I left the restaurant, and he thanked me and cried, and I cried, and it was a really moving situation, and I hope it helped him, and I think it did. It really felt like it did. But then I left the restaurant to go back to work, and this spirit followed me and was with me in my vehicle now. And it was one of the most profound visits I've ever had. I didn't know this guy. He was not giving me a direct message for me, but he was telling me, he was really upset, telling me all these people he hurt and how horrible he was when he was alive. And how is he ever going to be free of all the damage he did? I mean, this spirit was in so much pain and agony, and it was really upsetting to me. But I did tell him, and it was very strange, because it was like my higher power spirit speaking through me. And I told him, there is an opportunity for any and all of us to be forgiven. But you need to, I can't help you anymore, and you need to go do what you can to make right the wrongs that you made in life. And, just keep working towards making it right. And I wasn't saying any of that stuff consciously. It was almost like I was just the vehicle to give him the message. And as I was telling him this, I had a lot of self-forgiveness at that time that I had not done. And I'm sitting here telling this spirit, do what you can to make right the wrongs that you made. And there is forgiveness and there is grace, but you've got to stop the behavior. And at this time in my life, I had stopped a lot of the damaging behavior that I was doing to people, but I still hadn't forgiven myself, and I was in pain and I was suppressing it. So I was going through life with all this pain going on deep, deep, deep inside of me. And it all bubbled up in me in my truck on this day with this spirit. And, he needed to hear the message and I needed to hear the message. And he was the vehicle for me to give his apology to the waiter, and I was the vehicle for both of us to realize that forgiveness is available to each and every person in this universe, each and every being. And I believe that very deeply today. That's what I got to learn from this visit. Now back to you practicing mediumship. I've been on this journey and this path for years now of learning how to listen, and I have a very well-developed ability to listen telepathically to messages that are going on from spirits that have crossed, from my intuition, from my guides, and from spirit. God, which I choose to call spirit, okay? And there's a lot of telepathic communication going on all the time, and it's available to all of us at any time. We just have to learn how to hear it. There are, all these people that have passed, because we are on specifically the topic of mediumship, which is talking to those who have crossed over. They are very creative in their ways of communicating with us. Before my mom died, we'd never talked about past lives. That was not anything in my childhood or upbringing. But before she passed away, a couple years before she passed away, she said, in my next life, I just want to be a bumblebee. I want to flit from flower to flower and eat, and I want to have warm, beautiful summer days, and I want my life to be really easy and abundant. And I was like, cool, Mom, right? And then she passed away. And after she passed away in August. So it was the time of year for it when she died. But I had bees visiting me constantly after she died. And what was really amazing is when the weather turned and the seasons changed. I'm in Colorado, so we have definite seasons here. And it was just too cold for bees. I had a couple visits from bees even in the cold months of winter that 1 year. And now she's been gone many years. It's been a very long time. But whenever I have bees coming around me, I'm not afraid of them, luckily. And so I have that going for me. But every time one comes around me, I think it's her saying hi. So it's about listening to those kinds of things, and those that are close to us are constantly trying to get our attention to let us know that they love us and that they're looking out for us. So it really is our job, my job, your job, to learn how to listen to that. And then, like when Teresa Caputo goes out in the world and she is being a medium, she's so in tune, she'll be looking at somebody and she'll hear dragonflies or whatever the case may be, and come to find out, this is just a hypothetical example, come to find out that the lady she's looking at and hearing and seeing dragonflies, that was her sister's favorite thing in the world, and her sister passed away. This is how they communicate with us. They take things that we shared together with them and they try to get our attention with those things. So, just allow. Again, it's all about that allowing. I'm going to keep saying that on my channel because I have made the mistake year after year after year of trying to chase with this energy of desperation, chasing after the things I need in life, money, all that stuff, right? And it doesn't work. What I found that really works is when I kick back and relax my energy and allow the things that I want to come to me. So, you know, when you lose somebody, even if you lost them many, many years ago, just get yourself in a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. And you know, I talk to spirits out loud. If somebody dies that I cared about, I will say, hey, you know, I'm here, I'm listening. If you want to come see me, you know, come pay me a visit, please do. And if you have any messages to pass on, I would love to do that for you. And I've had them take me up on it. And I've invited some people to visit me after they died, and I never had any inkling that they ever came at all. So it's a real, you know, it's not anything you can gauge or track or measure or anything like that. You just got to be totally open spiritually to the experience. And then when you have the experience, you know, a lot of people will have an experience where they're communicated with by a loved one, and they'll be like, oh, that wasn't real, and they rationalize it away. So it's up to you whether or not you're going to rationalize it away or you're going to accept it for the visit that you wanted. You know, I still talk to my mom after all this time, and she still answers me. And when I need help and I'm scared, or I'm in a situation where I do not know how to handle it, I ask her and she answers me. I have a very open line of communication with her and quite a number of others, and I am able to access them just simply by opening myself up and allowing the line of communication to exist. You can really go far with this, and your life can change. I've gotten messages from those that have passed away, especially my friend Matt, and I've got his video. I will link it to the end of this if I remember to. I will really make an effort to do that. He taught me things that never occurred to me. You know, they take their personality with them, and that's how you can recognize them when they come to visit you, because we keep our core personality. We lose a lot of the fear and a lot of the BS around it, but we really do keep our core personality. And real quick, I had a lady who we were not friends and we were not tight, and I think I've shared this before, but when she passed away, I fell into this really funky, deep depression. And I don't fall into depressions that felt like this depression felt like. It was dark, and it was not my normal experience of feeling depressed. And it was right after she had passed away, and she had a lot of problems. She was bipolar, and she had a lot of depression issues, a lot of emotional issues. And I really learned, because she visited me and she showed me, I mean, I didn't really care for the way she visited me, but she did give me a very clear understanding of what it was like for her when she was in that life, this last life of hers. She gave me a very clear understanding of the pain she was in. And I didn't know that depression could go that deep. It was really scary to me. But, you know, and we can set boundaries. I'll tell you what, spirits they have respect and dignity. And I have two rules when spirits visit me. I know this whole thing just may sound silly to so many people, but I don't care. This is my life. I've had to set up, I was getting so many visits for a while. And guys, I will go months, even years without being visited by anyone. It's just been my experience. But there was a few years there where I was being visited regularly, and I had a lot of my friends pass in that amount of time. And so a lot of them came to see me. But my rules are, I only have two. One, don't scare my family, and that includes my animals. And number two, when I'm naked, please, you know, give me some respect my privacy. Do not come visit me when I'm changing my clothes or taking a shower or whatever, okay? Don't do it. And I would know, because you could feel yourself being watched totally. So it's been my experience that these spirits have completely respected my boundaries. So remember that, you know, and if you're afraid but you really want to be visited by those you love, you can totally call the shots. It is perfectly okay for you to put out there what you need, all right? And they'll talk to you in so many ways. I had another friend real quick where, you know, he kept harassing me to write this letter to his wife, which I did eventually. It took me a while. But this song, The Tin Man by America, kept coming on, and he loved that song. And it was just his way of saying, hello, I'm here. So this has been a really fun dig of mediumship. I get confused easily. But I hope you like this, and I really hope that you invite the people. And please, here's a word of caution. Do not use a Ouija board to do this. Ouija boards, in my opinion, are dangerous. I would never use one, nor would I have one in my home. Even if somebody in your life is like, don't worry about it, I'm a professional. If something comes through, you're stuck with the problem. Okay, and there's been many cases recorded of Ouija boards creating all kinds of havoc. And why would you do that to yourself is my question. I wouldn't want to do that to myself. So, you know, I mean, if you really want to use it at your own risk, but I would say don't, because you don't have any control. At least when you're trying to talk to a particular spirit, you're addressing that particular spirit, okay? All the visits I've had have been extremely powerful and healing. They are a little upsetting and a little disturbing because it's different. It's not mainstream experience. But the fact of the matter is they've been extremely healing for me. And nobody's going to talk to you unless they have something to say. So, you know, there's that. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I don't want to come off all lectury. I just get so frustrated with Hollywood's depiction of these things, because we really shouldn't be afraid, and we really should be able to have these conversations openly. And when people have questions, I think that they should have a safe place to be able to ask those questions. So this is a safe place for you to ask me anything you want. And if I have an answer for you, I'll give it to you. Just please leave it in the comments section below. And if if I don't have the answer, I'll tell you I don't. So, you know, I really want to see more and more lines of communication around these topics opened up, because they're very healing and they're very powerful. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And I'm so glad you stopped by today. And I'm just wishing for you to have everything you need in life, and to be really prosperous and abundant and full of happiness and satisfaction and creativity. And I will see you on the next dig. Have a great day.